Many companies budget significant resources for change management at the start of a D365 F&O project. From your experience, what's the biggest mistake organizations make when structuring their change management approach, and when should they actually be investing those resources?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think one of the challenges that we face in D365 F&O implementations is that there are a lot of situations where the change management resources don't have experience in actual D365 implementations. So it's important, I think, for what I see is that when someone who's managing the change management activities don't understand the ebbs and the flows of a D365 implementation. So as implementers, we know generally how an F&O implementation goes. At the beginning, there's usually a design phase, and then from the design phase, a solution is decided, and then certain development activities goes on, testing and etc. So sometimes what I see when the change management is separated from the project management tasks, that there's a lot of front loading on a project with the change management activities when there's not even a solution at place. So I've seen a lot of projects, the project starts, the change management resources come in, and they don't have much to do at that point of time. They still can do things, but there's no solution in place. There's not a lot of things are solidified yet. So what ends up happening in those types of scenarios, the budget and the money could be all spent and used in the first maybe 4 or 5 months of the project, and then you actually don't have the budget when you need it a little bit later in the project. So I think understanding this sort of fluctuations in activity within the project and which activities are relevant to your change management perspective and how it should be communicated to the rest of the organization, that's understanding that is going to help a lot. And that's why I recommend to a lot of the customers that I talk to is that you are definitely going to be better off with working with change management agents or change management organizations that has experience in D365 implementations, so that they can bring that into the table, because not every ERP is implemented the same way, and not every technology is implemented the same way for sure. An ERP implementation is very different than a CRM implementation. A CRM implementation is very different than a customer insights implementation. The type of audience that you're going to be working, type of learners you're going to have are very different. The length of the project is very different. So all of those things, just sort of play into that experience. Just like anything else, if you're looking for an implementation partner, you are looking for someone who has knowledge in your industry. So if you're in the food industry, you're not going to probably go with an implementation partner who has a lot of experience in construction, and vice versa. So you want someone who understands your language. And I think companies should look into the similar perspective on the change management side too, is that you want to work with a change management organization who has experience in D365 implementation, so that they can bring that into perspective.
Yeah, it sounds like there's probably a misperception as well, where people think change management is more mindset, psychological, like resistance to change, overcome that. But you're saying no, they also need to, yes, you're helping people go through the change, through their journey, but also they need to still know dynamics, F&O, to even better understand the journey that these end users are on.
Well, I mean, yes, I am absolutely saying that. Now, they don't need to necessarily know dynamics, like click by click know dynamics, because that's more on the training resources. So like maybe we just categorize this sort of, there are 3 different helpers to a D365 implementation. So there's the implementation partner that's basically driving all the implementation tasks. Then the change management and training, I sort of put them into like side by side 2 different buckets, because the training resources that you want to work with in an implementation, they are absolutely required to know the product. That's the whole idea. They're supposed to teach you the product, right? The change management, I'm not saying that they need to know the product like as an expert as far as understanding the ERP itself, but I think they need to understand the project, like how to do the type of project that you're doing. Like if you're doing an F&O project, they need to have an understanding of what that project is and what kind of tasks that are going to be performed in that project and different players, and how to sort of translate this change that's going to come into the organizations. Yeah, from that perspective, for sure, that I think the more they understand, the better chance that you're going to have of success. Because if you don't have that, then you are also going to be teaching the change management group that how your implementation is running, how the implementation is going to do, what are the things that are important that needs to be communicated. Occasionally that might be okay. Maybe you find a change management partner that you really like about their perspective, but they don't have as much D365 experience. I'm not saying that will never work, but you just need to understand the work that it's going to require for them to get up to speed on how an F&O implementation runs.